And even more here today. Tip is up, and Ole Miss will bring it up.
And this is Cody McMahon right there with the ball, the first in her hands, number 32 in blue. Keep your eye on this young lady.
McKinney gave it up, and then she laid it up. McKinney got into major foul trouble in the first half for Minnesota. She's crucial out on the floor. Take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. Maya Battle, one of the leading scorers all season. But Grholski had a tough outing. They could use some of her scoring today.
Definitely, Grholski had her fingerprints all over the game. She just didn't put the ball in the hoop. This young lady did yesterday late in the game. She was a big part.
Double team and missed Hart. She was by herself momentarily. Shot clock down to 5. Braun tipped her up. Out of bounds off of Ole Miss, so to stay with Minnesota.
And that's what Ole Miss will do to you, is they pressure you and pressure you, make you take shots late in the shot clock, but also make you put the ball on the floor and go one-on-one, maybe more than Minnesota wants to.
Well, you're right. Minnesota, they know it's best when they can work the ball around, be more assist-minded.
This is a great matchup inside today. Walla against Sophie Hart.
Ties this up. Yeah, I like this post matchup on the interior. Hart, the grad student, Uwala, the senior. Uwala's handoff to McMahon. McKinney trying to stick with her, the sophomore. Poe, she really kick-started things in the game on Friday night as she works it into Uwala. And the help D, not quite in position for Minnesota. There's the head coach of Ole Miss, Yolette McKeown. They call her Coach Yo, and in her 8th season, but the last 5 in particular, this is the 5th year in a row, making their way to the NCAA tournament. She has really been impressive.
Yeah, 2 Sweet 16s on her books as well at Ole Miss, and looking for a 3rd one.
They'd love to do it. This first free throw good for Christine Uwala. One of 4 seniors, a few grad students as well. It's a veteran Ole Miss team. But 8 transfers, a lot of new players for Ole Miss that had to gel and get it together.
Also 8 players that have NCAA experience on this Ole Miss team, which means something in a game like today. Minnesota with just 3, and those players have limited experience.
You think about your experience going through Texas, and you won a national championship, and how you felt when you first started, Andrea, compared to when you had that experience under your belt.
Big difference. They hope to bottle what happened in that 4th quarter, Minnesota does, and be able to bring that momentum here.
Minnesota's first NCAA tournament since 2018, and for Dawn Plitzwhite in her 3rd season, 3 20-plus winning seasons in a row, won the WBIT championship last year, and trying to get their team now hosting for the first time since 2005. They would love to make their way back to a Sweet 16.
Yeah, we saw her take her South Dakota team to the Sweet 16 a few years ago.
Braun. Whistle and a foul as she tries to get a shot off. Will she get to the free throw line? I think they're going to say underneath.
Yeah, and Braun is one player that really likes to shoot the ball from the perimeter. This is just a great fake right there, able to get Uwala off her feet. And that's something Minnesota here early is going to have to do. They're going to have to break down the defense of Ole Miss.
Up the inbound, a mistake there, and can Ole Miss take advantage? They do. Outrunning, and that's what they do so well.
Yeah, points off turnovers. That one just kind of lucky with a poor pass on the inbounds. One of the things we want to watch as well is the turnovers in today's game for Minnesota.
Right about that. There's 21 of them the other evening. We welcome those of you who've been watching the North Carolina game. We're in Minneapolis between 4-seed Minnesota, the host, and 5-seed Ole Miss. Crystal Blunt, Andrea Lloyd, with 7:37 remaining here in this first quarter. And Ole Miss already forcing turnovers, bringing that stifling defense and causing a few problems for Minnesota's offense.
Keeping this crowd quiet, 10,000 plus here.
Chinu gets tripped up. And it's a shot clock violation that allows this crowd to cheer even more.
And that's Briley Glenn right there, number 12 in blue, that made that happen. Coming off the bench, Glenn is a transfer from K-State. Her twin sister played at K-State with her, and she is instinctive and terrific on defense.
Second turn of the game for the Rebels, but the defense from Chinu, as she gets fouled and will go to the line. You can see Glenn trying to draw the charge. But Chinu, those hands, always so active.
Yeah, Chinu missed 7 games earlier this season. Her first game back was on Friday. She looked really good. You see her quickness, her ability defensively as a freshman and now as a sophomore has been a constant for Coach Yo, something that she needs on the floor.
Yeah, she is such a big piece for the Rebels. She said that's exactly what we were missing without her, was what she brought.
Coach Yo always talks about, you know, what are you doing as an individual player to make winning plays for my team? And we asked her who made winning plays on Friday, and her first comment was it was Sarah Chinu.
Yeah. 1 for 2 from the stripe for Chinu. And full court pressure from the Rebels.
We expected this. They were rested on Friday. No player played more than 22 minutes on Friday. For Ole Miss, they can come out and really pressure the ball.
But what an advantage. Minnesota was tested a little more by Green Bay and had to keep starters out there for the majority of the game. Contact inside, they'll say Hart knocked Chinu down, and Dawn Plitz-White not happy about that call.
Well, it was a correct call and a good job by the defense. If you watch right here, watch the left arm right there of Hart as she extends it. That's just a savvy play by Chinu.
Crowd watching the replay did not agree.
There's general unrest in this building right now by the crowd, by the coaches.
Would have been a nice one if the Rebels could have gotten that. Let's take a look at the lineups on the floor, brought to you by Capital One. We talked about Chinu making her way back in after missing those final 7 regular season games. Jador Young, though, in her length, after Cody McMahon picking up the second personal this first quarter. That's huge. Others going to have to step up for Ole Miss. But they have depth, and they have experience.
Look at Ole Miss deny defense, and their job today defensively is to keep people in front of them. They're going to go under screens for the most part, unless it's Braun, and make you earn it.
Battle at 5'11" was trying to take advantage of the smaller defender as Sophie Hart keeps the miss alive, and she gets fouled.
Sophie Hart, as a graduate student, 5th year, 3rd year at Minnesota. Watch her work on the boards, and this is how she played on Friday as 6'5". She can do a lot of damage on the interior and is happy to play the physical style that Ole Miss wants to play today.
You're right. She has started every single game. 19 points in the win against Green Bay, but 13 of those came in the second half. She was huge as the first free throw is good. Dad in the stands, the family all here. That's Tom, her father. He looks a little anxious, Andrea. He's energized. Gets them both.
Yeah, look at this. Just can Ole Miss right now find something on offense right now? They have not had no field goals since McMahon went to the bench with those 2 fouls a couple of minutes ago.
They need somebody to kickstart the offense. Tiana Thompson is very capable.
Get it inside Diawala. That's what I would say.
She's one-on-one with Tonga.
To work. Yes.
Double team and they find her. And a lefty flick, no good. Long rebound, though. Here's Denham to Shields. Aggressive drive, some body bump, and they'll say play on.
That's Glenn on defense again.
Now Tonga has checked in. Hart takes a seat for Minnesota. Here's Braun. Loses the D around and won't drop. 0 for 2 for Mara Braun. Lattimore. But some length with Battle and misses that one. Braun to kick Back out to McKinney. McKinney's got length at 6'1" with the smaller DeShields, but they're going to look in to Tonga. Tonga needs some help.
Yeah.
Smothering defense, Braun. The extra pass, McKinney. Scores it up, around, and no good. And it's out off of Tonga. They'll say go the other way. Coach Yo's team has missed their last 5 minutes.
Minnesota is appealing the on-court ruling.
So an appeal taking place, and officials will take a look.
I was going to say just a moment ago, the other thing that really for Ole Miss you would have talked about in that timeout if you're Coach Yo is just the offensive boards. Right now, 2 offensive rebounds for Minnesota, and they have 4 second chance points, so they've scored on both of those. Those are just hustle plays.
Exactly, an area that they can definitely take advantage. And a big focus for Minnesota was to keep them off the glass. Here's what the officials are looking at. Who's it off of?
And just at first glance, it looked like it was off of Ole Miss. I know the hand was coming down right now.
Ole Miss, number 12, is last to touch the ball prior to it going out of bounds. Therefore, the appeal by Minnesota is deemed successful. It'll be Minnesota ball after the rim hit with 20 on the shot clock.
Well, the Barnyard
and no timeout is charged.
They like the call.
Just a reminder that in women's basketball, you can appeal plays like that on out of bounds, and you have as many appeals as you want. But if you do not win the appeal, you lose a timeout.
It's a successful appeal. Dawn White will hang on to it. McKinney drives it high to low and good. 4 points for McKinney. And the lead to Minnesota. Their first of the ball game. Skip across to Cheney. Nothing but net. That's some good offense right there.
Pretty execution right there. And she knew his that ability to knock down the 3. I like that pass.
26th make on the year. And now out-guarding Amaya Battle. Trying to seal on the interior, McKinney. McKinney at the point that she's 6'1", Andrea. She's got great length, and a lot of times will have a smaller guard on her.
Oh, just a mistake by Ole Miss right there. They were mismatched defensively. DeShields and Lattimore switched. Ended up with DeShields at 5'5" down low, and McKinney, she loves to post up on the low block as a guard.
Yeah, against DeShields, that's her second, and now bonus the rest of this quarter with 3:29 remaining. That's the 5th on Ole Miss. Just 3 team fouls for Minnesota. Is good for Tori McKinney. See the numbers for her Friday against Green Bay. 20 minutes, but picked up early fouls in the first half. Had to sit and watch a big portion of it. And Ole Miss feeling that right now without Cody McMahon, picking up her second back at the 7:23 mark. And McKinney too aggressive, trying for the steal, but had that inside hand knocking down DeShields.
I like the idea. A really nice job of Minnesota getting back in transition defense. Grholski walling up and then just going for the steal here. Give Ole Miss a little bit of their own medicine, getting out in the passing lanes.
That's right, McKinney. Her first personal, she'll take the seat. 4th on Minnesota. Over from DeShields. She was solid on Friday in the first round. Braun gets her hands on that one. Battle's going to push. Grholski stopped by the D, and it's taken away. Excellent transition defense by Ole Miss. And 4th turnover now for Minnesota. Oh, with the hand off the marquee wall, they just have not been able to establish her in there.
A lot of that is just ball pressure. Minnesota doing a nice job of keeping their hands up, staying close, not giving easy vision into the post.
Battle spins around, banks it up good, lead back to the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, Battle picking up where she left off in the first round. Led her team in scoring in that game. She was consistent, and she's another one at 5'11" that has the ability to play inside out, can post up or back you down into the post. Minnesota coming out unafraid.
Bring in the physicality as well. They have faced multiple teams that have a lot of similarities to Ole Miss throughout the Big Ten, but not all of them combined, as finally Awala gets the layup good.
Yeah, Awala had to make it on her own right there. Instead of posting up, steps out and catches. As you mentioned, Minnesota played, you look at the Big Ten.
Yes.
You know, Ohio State, Maryland, UCLA, USC, teams that play similar.
We just saw Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament and did not get the victory in that one as the shot won't go, and a big board for the Rebels. Chapeau gives it to Awala high, trying to go low. And another offensive rebound and opportunity.
12 on the shot clock.
Caitlin Peterson into the game. Ball is kicked.
That'll reset the shot clock to 20 seconds. A nice job right there by Tonga, who came in and gave some minutes to Sophie Hart on the bench. Tonga, number 31, transfer in. She played 2 seasons at San Jose State, 1 at Salt Lake Community College.
A really nice addition. 3 transfers in this year for Dawn Plitzer-White's team. Awala with the help D. There's another extra pass. Chinu, this time though, off the mark in the left. 1 minute remaining, first quarter. All tied up.
Look at Sophie Hart on the interior, posting up.
Double. Yep, Awala, solid defense, moving the feet, forces another turnover. That's the 5th on Minnesota.
And this is where you see Christina Awala. She has changed her body type. She has changed her physicality and conditioning this year and has the ability to stick with a guard on a switch right there and defend.
How about that? Really worked in the offseason and so much quicker, stronger. Maybe partially tipped on the shot from the Shields, but the second chance no good. An 11-second differential shot clock, game clock, first quarter winding down. Braun using a screen, curls up, shooter's touch. Her first points of the game. Chinu, defense left her, big board from Glenn. And a chance to extend the lead with 5 on the clock. Braun, left side, lays it down. This crowd on their feet and loving it.
At times.
We just saw the improvement on the numbers as well. She's getting a breather right now. They bring Cody McMahon back in, picked up foul number 2 at the 7:23 mark in the first quarter. And take their chances with her on the floor. Hart inside, guarded by Lattimore. Multiple jerseys coming over. Good help D for the Rebels.
Yeah, it's 6'5" against 6'5" right there with Lattimore. Let's see what McMahon does with the ball in her hand. She loves to get downhill with a head of steam, but with those 2 fouls, she has to be careful.
Late non-conference, started running the point at times for the Rebels. They needed a little more leadership in that role. Shot at the mark, and then quickly Minnesota trying to find Hart. They do. And McMahon couldn't do anything there. 17-6 run for the Golden Gophers. McKinney behind the D, and McMahon makes them pay. Second 3 of the day for Ole Miss.
And that's the kind of thing McMahon can do. She can solve problems for you. She's so tough off the bounce that she gets space to shoot that 3 and improved her range this season.
Yeah, that was an area of focus for her as Braun knew it off the mark to Hart.
And how about Sophie Hart coming into play today? Look at her get down the floor as a big. This is your 6'5" girl beating everybody down the floor, and she goes up against McMahon, who just can't foul her.
McMahon with 5 points. Again, trying to find an opening for her. Good spacing.
Good defense by McKinney right there, doing a nice job of keeping McMahon in front of her, contesting.
Made her take a second look at it, and that time to miss. McMahon is so savvy at reading the defense and what they give her. McKinney recognizing nobody there, but off the back of the iron.
Ole Miss shooting just 29% right now, 5 for 17 from the field.
A team that comes in shooting 43% from the floor. Foul, Chinu trying to get a little closer.
That's the second foul right there on McKinney. She will take a seat. This is what we saw on Friday as well. McKinney getting into foul trouble, something we mentioned that Minnesota needed to keep an eye on today because of the fact Ole Miss is so good off the dribble. Can Minnesota stay out of foul trouble?
Yeah, we'll see how they handle that as she has to sit down.
Just swarmed.
Rebels working it back around the perimeter. There's Poe trying to use the screen. They'll say a push for Minnesota.
Just a little bit of a pitch and screen on the ball here.
Fallon Braun, her first, team second.
Compared to some other things we've seen.
That's right. Yep. Pulling it a little bit closer right now. With Hart behind her. High hedge from Hart. Iwala by herself momentarily. Nice recovery by Minnesota. It's batted around and finally. What a play. Bodies to the floor. Both sides scrappy. Lefty floater, hesitation from Glenn, and it's off. Can't stick with McMahon, and they're going to call a blocking foul on the help D by Battle.
Boy, that is a risky play. We mentioned that Cody McMahon likes to get to the rim. Look at the defense get set up. I thought she was set there. And she got there before McMahon took off from the floor. That is a fortunate call for Ole Miss.
Boy, it's so close, maybe shifting the hip just a bit at the last second. Crowd watching the replay thought she got there. It's the first one good for McMahon.
And this is where Ole Miss will hurt you as well. They will turn you over, they will make you foul, and they will get to the free throw line. Cody McMahon, one of the best at it.
Yeah, they average 16 made free throws a game. One of the best in the nation.
12th in the nation in free throw attempts per game. 8th in free throw makes.
Yeah, really aggressive and able to get to the strike. Flicks it up, no good.
If that goes in, I think that's a really nice shot. There's just no rebounders, though, if you miss.
All blue jerseys. Chinu, jump stop, got a little closer, too much spin on it, and a big board for Battle. Oh, leads to the layup. Hesitation, great read from Battle.
Battle is such a competitor out there. You see her defensively rebounding the ball, and then again, Minnesota in transition has had some luck.
Dawn Plitz-White wants the defense out further.
Well, she wants the crowd on their feet, too.
Lattimore, the drive and the length and the finish.
Yeah, Latasha Lattimore, experienced player. This is her 5th year of basketball, her 5th stop, her 4th stop.
Transferred in from Virginia. Was at Miami prior to that, and Texas to start her career.
She was a leading scorer for Ole Miss on Friday.
She had 15, but another 3 for Minnesota, their second of the game. And the second for Mara Braun, she's perfect.
I'll tell you what, Briley Glenn has come off the bench and done exactly what she's supposed to do as well, and that is be a defensive menace. At 5'10", she's guarding how many different people? Cody McMahon at times. She's guarding the point guard, 5'5", Denim DeShield. I've seen her guarding Lattimore on the interior.
She'll take whoever they need her to take, that is for certain, as they try to get it away from McMahon. And just coming into the game, Tiana Thompson, big 3.
That is her assignment, Tiana Thompson, is to shoot the basketball. She is a tremendous three-point shooter.
First attempt and first points of the game. Perfect timing. They're back within 2. Battle lost it momentarily. Braun gets up from the hardwood and ready to shoot. Laura Braun, 3 for 3 behind the arc. And a timeout called. Getting it done. UCLA took care of business on the home court. See what adjustments Ole Miss can make. Still have the shields out at the point. Here's McMahon. Picked up those 2 personals back in the first quarter. They've taken some chances here, and it's been okay. It was high to low, the finish from Thompson.
It's so tough to guard by multiple players for Ole Miss. They run that high screen on the ball in the middle of the floor. Just no help unless it's from your post on the roll, and that is just
great read by Thompson and the shields. Coach O likes the effort, tipping that away.
Yeah, it's high screen and roll right here. You see the hard hedge by Hart and just nobody able to help on the drive by Thompson.
Excellent read and finish. Tiana Thompson, the sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia. Transferred in from Georgia Tech this year. Foul up high.
What an opportunity she has had as of late with Chinu out of the lineup.
Right.
In the last couple of weeks of the season. Thompson was one of the go-to players and had extended minutes. And coach has learned to trust her. She demands of her that she shoot the basketball.
Sure does.
Don't not take shots, and you see her ability to drive the ball as well. And this is a tough environment right now. Minnesota has come out very confident. This crowd behind them.
Oh, Groholski open momentarily, helped D coming over, and then great recovery from Thompson to get it back. 7 turnover for Minnesota. Thompson high to low, and it looked like Braun got a piece of it. They'll have numbers if they can push. Rebels not able to get back, and Groholski makes some pay. Herself in the left corner.
Groholski did not score in that game on Friday. She is a capable scorer, though.
Averages 12 points a game. You're right, did not score, and they're going to call a travel on Cody McMahon.
Excellent defense right there. They have Cody McMahon flustered right now. A terrific job on the change of direction to come over and help. And you see again, Battle competing here, walling up. And that's what they talked about doing in practice yesterday. You've got to make a wall and not let McMahon or any of them get to the rim easily.
Yeah, we heard the word wall many times yesterday in practice as McMahon will take a seat, full court pressure by the Rebels. Length for Ole Miss can cause problems for the ball handlers. Tonga back on for Minnesota. Foul up on the ball.
It's on Debrisha Poe out there, just a little too handsy.
Her first, team's second. 2:51 left, first half. Minnesota with 3 team fouls.
One opportunity right here.
Again, left hand, the baby hook up, and they'll say go the other direction. Tonga begging for an appeal.
This is a clear out play right here for Briley Glenn. Puts the ball up, and we'll watch who might have touched it last. Yeah, definitely off of Ole Miss right there, and Tonga was trying to get her coach to appeal that.
Yes.
Great hustle.
Chinu smothered by Golden Gophers. And the jump ball. It'll stay with Ole Miss.
Come on, you want to talk about Mara Braun. She's not just a shooter. Look at this hustle by Braun. She sees the loose ball, sprints to get it, and again, making big plays for her team, whether it's scoring or hustling.
Redshirt junior, one of 8 from the state of Minnesota. Grew up not far from this venue. Wanted to play here. Shot clock to 2. Ole Miss not recognizing. Big D by Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you what, 4 of the 5 starters from Minnesota grew up less than 30 miles from this campus, and that is why these fans are out here to support. They love their Minnesota teams, but they also love the ladies that have chosen to stay home and play for Minnesota.
And a foul. It's going to go against Chinu. Too aggressive on the ball. So the officials have set the tone here of how they're going to call this. And these teams are going to have to adjust. 3 team fouls for Ole Miss, 4 for Minnesota.
Cody McMahon taking a seat. 21
so far, right? They forced 21 turns. Today, just 7 so far this half.
Which is already, you know, we mentioned Minnesota averages just over 10 turnovers a game.
Yeah. Just under 2 minutes left, first half. 6-point lead for the Golden Gophers. Tonga, one-on-one, trying to get a little more room, gets it to go. Largest lead of the game for Minnesota. Gets the crowd into it even more, but a foul, good aggressive drive by the Shields.
And that foul right there is going to go against Briley Glenn, and we have seen Ole Miss try to get to the rim, and Glenn, a terrific defender. Oh, actually, it looks like it. Was that on Battle?
They call it on Battle.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah.
be her second. So she'll take a seat.
I'll tell you what, Battle and McKinney for Minnesota are 2 huge pieces when it comes to their offense and being able to put the ball on the deck, get to the rim, and make plays, be playmakers.
And both sitting with 2 personals apiece. To Shields to the line. First is good. They bring in McKenna Christian, the 6-foot freshman Minnesota does. Her first minutes of the game. As you see the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. Transferred in from Mississippi State. Just 1 of 2. And they're going to call a foul as Ole Miss was crashing the offensive board in the miss. Going to get a foul against Minnesota.
This is an important moment for Ole Miss. They have an opportunity right now with the lineup that Minnesota has on the floor that has a little bit less experience to really be able to cut into this lead before halftime. They're down by 7 right now.
In the bonus for the remaining minute, 23. And good effort on the miss. It puts Brisha Poe, the senior, to the strike. It's the first 96% free thrower. Poe had 6 quick points in their game and win on Friday against Gonzaga. I thought she really kind of kick-started things for Ole Miss.
Yeah, she does so much for Ole Miss as a leader. Her first year at Ole Miss, played at Mississippi State before, but she's a calm, cool presence on the floor.
Oh, she is. Aspires to be a reporter and broadcaster. You might be sitting next to her one of these days, Andrea. Defense losing the footing. Shot from Glenn, no good. Tonga tries to keep it alive. Good hands on the other side from Thompson. Minute left, first half. 5-point lead for Minnesota. High edge from Tonga and the body bump. She knew it as soon as she went out. Couldn't stop herself.
And Tonga is playing very hard out there. She is competing in the paint. Not 100% healthy out there, but she and Hart are a 1-2 punch.
Picks up her second. 4 players from Minnesota with 2 personals. Free throws good.
Tom Plitzolite. She is a perfectionist, shouting out, barking out orders right there on the sideline.
Both free throws good. Big ones for Denham to Shields.
And just a 3-point game.
Both head coaches, former point guards back in the day, and they coach just like it. Turnover. Send it the other direction. Opportunities for Ole Miss.
And that's the 8th turnover for Minnesota. Here we go, Ole Miss. You couldn't have scripted it better with Cody McMahon with 2 fouls on the bench, down by 8 at one point.
One possession game before we go in at half. Help skipping it across. Oh, just short. Oh, Latimer almost the tip in. Down to 1. Brown lets it go. And it banks up and around. And that would have set the barn on fire. With assist for Steele. Yeah, she gets the start here. She takes advantage of every minute, but she needs to get some others going as well, as Minnesota will have the ball first.
And we wondered if Minnesota was going to be able to handle the pressure of Ole Miss. They have 8 turnovers, but only 3 points off turnovers for Ole Miss in this game. So they've done a nice job of being able to score and not allow turnovers to hurt them.
You're right. Shot clock was down. Battle takes the shot off the mark. Chinu will bring it up. Yeah, they have not given up much off the turnovers. That's been a plus.
Look at those points from the free throw line for Ole Miss.
Yeah, thank goodness they're able to get themselves to the line. 10 of 12 from the stripe, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Ole Miss.
Just again, Minnesota's doing a nice job of rotating over. Penetration here, gets the advantage, but doesn't see the defense.
Ballin to Shields, her 3rd. She stays on the floor. She'll continue to pressure, guarding Battle right there with the ball.
The Shields on the floor allows Cody McMahon to not have to play the point guard all the time, so puts her off the ball, keeps her maybe out of foul trouble a bit.
Yeah, great point. Hart looks that one up from way outside. Iwala wasn't letting her get in there for the layup.
Absolutely not. Nice pass right there.
Yep, found an open teammate and takes advantage there. Poe with a big one.
Yeah, 3 defensive players from Minnesota shading over to McMahon, and McMahon did the right thing, found an open player.
All tied up as Chinu got the ball away from Tori McKinney, but clipped her with her body, and Chinu's slow to get up. She was out those 7 games, had the bone bruise. You can see the big brace on her leg, but she's going to stay on. She's wincing a bit, though.
And Chinu with 6 points in that first half, a few rebounds. It's her defensive presence out there, her ability to contest shots.
She had to rethink a lot of things you're going to do out there, no doubt about it. The numbers for Battle and Braun. Battle. DeShields a bit smaller. She's tried to take it at her multiple times in this one.
Yeah, DeShields with those 3 fouls, so I like the idea.
And there's a pretty baseline jumper for Battle. Lead back to the Golden Gophers.
Battle's so calm out there. One of those upperclassmen for Minnesota, this team that's been together, the starting 5 for 3 years plus.
Gained a lot of experience last year, making their way through the WBIT, winning the championship. As Cody McMahon just slithers by to stop D.
That's what I find so incredible is Cody McMahon's legs, her ability to change directions like that when she sees the defense.
Incredible. She's got 9 points. Brown, the only player in double figures with 11. Battle takes it up against Poe, and Poe's going to pick up the personal. That'll be her 2nd.
I just watched Cody McMahon on the move, and we talk all the time about getting downhill with her. So strong with the ball, reads the defense, who tries to get over the top of that screen, goes back away from the screen here. Just watch her side step.
I mean,
come on.
The body control, the strength, really impressive. Senior out of Dayton, Ohio. And just passed Peggy Gillum in Friday's game with 33 double-figure games this season, and now she has passed her for points in a single season. She's just wiping out the records by Peggy Gillum.
And Peggy Gillum, who's sitting not far from us, could not be happier. I'm sure she's like, it's about time.
That's right. Almost a takeaway. McMahon right there, and finds her open teammate Iwala with the finish.
And one of the easier baskets that Ole Miss has gotten today.
Yep.
Just a broken play.
those are the kinds of plays that they live by throughout the season, and we haven't seen many of those. All tied up. And the takeaway. Go. Defense to offense. And their first lead since it was 10-8. And they force the turn. Ole Miss bringing a different level of intensity. Fans are up.
Yeah, we talked about in the open and all the first half how this defense for Ole Miss, they are relentless. And it's Sister Poe out there using those hands, known as a shooter, but can play some D as well. Ole Miss, considering there's 3 timeouts left, had she lost that, it would have been 2 in what has been a close game.
It's been incredibly close. They go inside to Uwala. But a beautiful start for Ole Miss coming out. They're up in this quarter 9-4, and they're on a 14-4 run going back to the second rather. As Hart can't finish the curl inside.
Now look at Cody McMahon, though, hitting the boards, getting the ball down quickly. This is the pace that Ole Miss wants.
Absolutely. The trail by Uwala, and they find her.
And it's a 16-4 run.
8 points for Christine Uwala.
Uwala and McMahon, that duo, they play so well together on the floor. McMahon out. 10 minutes of that first half.
Aggressive drive. Right there in the finish for Battle on the other side.
You know, in my notes, I have to admit that I have written down she is a pass-first point guard. Now, I'm just going to tell you something. She has not been a pass-first point guard in the first game or in this game.
She's been looking to score as well, and they have needed it. To Shields, McKinney gives her the room, and that was not the thing to do. I love a shooter that says, if you're going to stay off of me, I'm going to take it. Largest lead of the game for Ole Miss. Ole Miss 6 of 7 shooting this quarter. They needed a quarter like this.
It didn't shut the ball well in the first half, around 30%.
Polsky, shot clock down to 5. Braun, head down, trying to get closer, help defense. Tried to shuffle it over, and a big stop by the Rebels.
Yeah, dictate and disrupt. That these days in the time of the transfer portal, and all of the starters have played together for at least 3 years. I'm throwing Braun in there, even though she sat out most of last season because of an injury.
Absolutely. Her dad, Chris, her mom, Ramona.
Good mom.
Following. I love it.
Did you see that?
So really impressive to keep 8 players in the state of Minnesota on this program. Ole Miss has made a surge this quarter, and they needed to come out as that one just short for Lattimore. A good timeout for Minnesota. Ole Miss with 8 made field goals in the first half total. They already have 6 in this quarter. So they have kicked it up a notch at both ends.
Well, they have outscored Minnesota in this quarter 14-6.
Yes.
So much better offense. Cody McMahon, a big part of that, impacting the game.
Sure is. Hasn't scored since the first quarter, and misses there. Tonga back on. She's slow to get up. McMahon pushing pace. Poe, the lefty. But too many bodies in navy blue. And it's batted around, and it comes down to Minnesota. Somehow Graham ended up with a Tonga ball fake. Pretty.
How about Finau Tonga today? Extended minutes for her, and she's smiling out there. She is firing her team up, firing this crowd up.
Well, Sophie Hart's going to check in at the next chance, but Coach Plitzawhite has seen something she likes with Tonga out there.
10 on the shot clock, and Minnesota's defense has been dictating this game as well. 5.
Now to 2, McMahon recognizing, oh yeah, right at the last minute. Quiets this crowd just a bit. Man, to double figures again, her 34th time on the year. She has 11. Battle. Jump ball, they will say. Nice job by Ole Miss.
How about the inside right here? And this is what Cody McMahon can do. Ball in her hands at the top as the one player, or if she's playing the four player, like in that situation, she can catch, get to the rim.
Incredibly strong. She had a Maya battle right there with her, but able to elevate up and finish.
And she's not new to this crowd after playing at Ohio State for 3 seasons.
You're right about that.
She understands this court. She understands this crowd.
Coming back in, Sophie Hart forces the turnover on Iwala.
It's the 8th turnover. And just inopportune, taking away a little bit of momentum. But we have seen good defense. And look at the little hedge right there from Braun, who just makes Iwala think twice.
Yep, switch to pivot play as Braun gets fouled behind the three-point arc, and it's on McMahon, her third.
Mara Braun has been so assertive in this game. Early in the game, she didn't get many good looks, but when the defense makes mistakes or in transition and she gets those looks, she's so dangerous.
Braun with 11, hoping to add to it. And does. Coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Both sides, men's and women, up and going.
Mara Braun, a 92.5% free throw shooter, misses a couple.
Taking advantage there. Another 3. 2:20 left, third quarter. Chinu got some space and sticks it.
Yeah, made some space right there against Briley Clinton, who was playing pretty good defense, just a better shot.
8 points for Chinu. Battle using the high screen off the iron. Groholski. Great anticipation to clean it up.
Such an opportunistic player. Again, 5 points today. Didn't score on Friday. Just made a couple of big ones.
DeShields, the quick crossover, had an open lane. Help D, knocks it out of play. It'll stay with Ole Miss. Man's going to come back in with the 3 personals. Shields will sit. She has 3 fouls as well. Back out to Chinu, and talk about calm and cool. She's in double figures.
Yeah, Groholski helped just a second on the interior, gave her that space.
11 points, her second 3. Groholski left wing, gets it. An answer with a 3 on the other end.
We have been waiting for this from Grace Groholski.
After not scoring on Friday, she's found a couple of them now. She has 8 points. Chinu with 11, 2 for 3 behind the arc. As McMahon wanted the and one. She'll take the layup though. Under a minute left, third quarter. Good miss, 4 for the last 4. Still in their lead. High dribble able to hang on.
Shot clock running down at 7.
Hart, smart play. And a long 3 from McKinney won't go. Chinu, the fader, the shooter's touch.
That was just natural. A great recognition that she was being guarded by Hart on that play. Wanted to go by her, couldn't. Just pulled up and asking for a sub right now. She's giving it her all out there.
Sure has. 13 points, clock down to 5 ticks. To finish this third quarter, Groholski recognizing, just missing the 3, and that's gonna do it. Big Sacramento Regional and the Sweet 16 on the line. For Ole Miss, it would be their 13th. For Minnesota, it would be their 4th. Foul called out on the perimeter. Gonna go against Ole Miss. And that's the 3rd on Poe. Mara Braun thought there was a tip instead, sends it out of bounds. It'll go the other direction.
Just turnovers haven't hurt them a lot, but 13th turnover for Minnesota today. These are missed opportunities of getting a shot up, and when you're a good shooting team, you do not want that.
And then McMahon gives it right back. Yeah, they've only given up 7 points off the 13. Braun on the attack, lays it up with the left hand, and it's out of play. It's going to stay with Minnesota.
I'd like to see Sophie Hart get a touch here and there in this Minnesota offense, and the same goes for Ole Miss with Iwala. Passing the ball to the post has been, the opportunities have been few and far between, but they need touches to keep working.
Kenny on the drive, and they're going to call a foul on McMahon. She's in disbelief, wants to know, what did I do? And that'll be her 4th.
And that's been the story today. It was the story of the first half with McMahon, who had 2 fouls, had to sit for extended minutes in that first half, and now again, with her 4th, will take a seat on the bench.
At the 9:19 mark, see how long Coach Yo will leave her there. It's to the line. It's Tori McKinney, the sophomore out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. Just in foul trouble for both sides. 4 for McMahon, a few for Poe and DeShields. 2 apiece for Holsky Battle and Tonga. This free throw's good for McKinney. She has 8 points. Chinu, she has been tough to stop. That one off the mark. Holsky wants to push. And good transition D by the Rebels.
And key for today, also for Minnesota, was being able to rebound with Ole Miss. They have done just that. 22-22, it's even.
Yeah. Ole Miss is an incredible team on the boards at both ends, and that was a big area of focus in practice yesterday. Shot clock down to 5. Braun.
Boy, every shot has been contested for Minnesota here.
Sure has.
This quarter.
Chinu saying, I'm ahead of everybody, and lays it up good.
Wow.
Great communication on the fast break.
Yeah, just leaked out in front and was able to get an easy one.
15 for Chinu. 4 boards, a couple of assists.
Iwala again stepping out on the switch, able to guard the perimeter player.
Shots just off the mark. It was really impressive, shooting over 70% from the floor for Ole Miss in the 3rd quarter.
And the crowd knowing Minnesota needs a defensive stand.
Iwala, the extra pass. Excellent read, but off the mark this time. She hasn't been off by many in this game.
I like that look, though. I like the fact that the ball went inside to outside.
Yeah, it was the right play. Iwala read it perfectly.
When you're a post player and you don't touch the basketball for a while, you kind of want to score. So getting touches is so important when you're working hard out there. Again, one-on-one plays for Minnesota here.
Hart on the weak side. Battle. And a jump ball, the call. Minnesota has been so close, but it's just not falling right now. And the possession arrow will send it to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss's defense makes you play one-on-one. They make you put the ball on the deck because they deny easy passes. And Minnesota is right now falling into the trap of maybe a little too much of that.
They definitely dictate what happens out there so often, as Coach O wants a timeout. Gonna talk, the shot won't go there. Outrunning Braun. She needed that one. She scored just 1 point last quarter after 11 in the first half.
And remember, it was Braun who spurred the run in the 2nd quarter for Minnesota.
First field goal in a long time for Minnesota, going back to the third. Lattimore gets fouled up high.
Minnesota had turned the ball over a few times here and haven't gotten shots, but a great opportunity here in transition. And I'll tell you what, if you want to go against Ole Miss's defense, beat them down the floor. That's the easiest way to do it.
It definitely helps. Brown with 14 and a 6-point lead for the 5 seed. Ncaa has been stellar. 15 points. Hart Ncaa coming over on Ncaa. And she's getting herself to the line with the extra effort. The foul on Graholski.
Ncaa is the one that's being very active out there on offense. And when you talk to Coach Yo about what she wants to see and why she put Cody McMahon at the point in mid-season this year, it's because she wants to see people get downhill. And that's what Ncaa does so well. And she's been doing it throughout this game, just making something happen.
Yeah, loves what Ncaa can give and open up in other areas. To the line she will go, the sophomore from Mali. This is the first free throw. For the 6th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. So many games to look forward to as Ncaa gets the second. 16 for her. And continues her full court pressure. Now some trap from Ole Miss. Brown will bring it across. Kicks it out to Glenn. Gets it.
Not a terrific three-point shooter. But how about Briley Glenn with that experience in the NCAA tournament coming up big.
Make the extra pass. And they made him pay there. 4-point lead for the Rebels. McMahon, so strong, says, give me the ball, I will get it done. And she's going to go to the free throw line. So tough. A frustrating game for her. Whistles have not gone her way. Trying to keep her cool out there. Continue to lead. Foul on Glenn, her second. First one good for Cody McMahon. Gets them both. 15 points for McMahon. Perfect from the line. 4 for 4 from the stripe with 5 minutes remaining to determine which team moves on to the Sweet 16. Ole Miss trying to do it back-to-back years. It's been since 2005 for Minnesota.
Shot clock at 9.
Penny recognizing the length of Ncaa. The up and under around but won't go, but she gets fouled in the process.
Yeah, McKinney just continues to be assertive and get to the basket. Ncaa, it looked like she might have fouled right there and stuck with the play. I mean, this is what we mentioned this earlier. Again, Minnesota putting the ball on the deck, going one-on-one because they don't have other options. That's where you're off, as a player, you need to find ways to get open and get a pass in.
Yeah, movement without the ball.
Correct.
Spacing, little details, so crucial.
Yeah, those extra cuts. See that Q collar on McKinney around her neck. She's been in concussion protocol at different times in her career, and that is to help her.
Yeah, they are happy. She struggled with that a couple of times this season. They were without her. McMahon has battled, tries to drive, and does. The charge going to go against McMahon. And all she can do is smile and walk to the sideline. That is her 5th.
Minnesota's defense one-on-one again here. You see battle. She has battled against McMahon today in the post, playing the 4 position. Just holds her ground to take that contact.
Another close win, but McMahon doesn't win this one. Her 5th personal, but 5 of 6 shooting for Cody McMahon. 15 points. We'll have to watch the remaining 4 minutes plus.
A mismatch here. Walla on Braun.
Hart letting him know. And she gets fouled and will go to the line. That's the 15th foul on Ole Miss.
Again with the mismatch. Good recognition by Minnesota. They get the ball inside to Hart, who's being guarded by a smaller player, and Hart unable to finish. She had 6 in that first half and hasn't scored here in the second half.
Foul on Poe, her 4th, but the 5th puts Minnesota in the bonus the rest of the way, Andrea. Just under 4 minutes left in this quarter. First one good for Sophie Hart, as she's been quiet at times. But Joe having a chat with Natasha Lattimore. She's going to check back in.
The Minnesota bench, they've talked about their cohesiveness.
It's the free throws.
They weren't loose. Minnesota's bench was loose when they were down in that game on Monday, and they had a moment of tension, I think, here earlier, but they can smell an opportunity.
High screen for Chino, and she gets it. She's so composed.
Yeah, she really is. Unaffected by this crowd. That's the first field goal in almost 5 minutes for Ole Miss.
18 points for Chino, and the shot off the mark there. The Shields will bring it up. Good crossover.
Again, a wall of defense right there for Minnesota. The crowd wants 3 seconds.
Chino. Crossovers need some help. Mara Braun knocked to the floor, no whistle. Chino ready to get that one, but off the iron instead. Braun, a quick look on the left side. Hart tracks it down. I was surprised she took that one, Andrea. The defender was right there. And we go to Hart inside. Lefty layup, no good. Battle. An offensive rebound and a foul call against the Rebels will put her to the line.
Right now, Minnesota making plays. Those 2 offensive rebounds gives them extra opportunities. That's why it's so important not to turn the ball over. Even if it's a quick shot, like you mentioned with Braun, you have an opportunity to go get the basketball. And heck, Braun is such a good shooter. That could have gone down too.
Oh, you're right about that. Stay with it, and they get themselves to the line. Amaya Battle, the senior out of Hopkins, Minnesota. With 10 points.
82%. 82% free throw shooter. Good one to have at the line.
No doubt about it. 9 rebounds, 4 assists for Battle. Gets them both. .241 remaining. 3-point lead for Ole Miss. Minnesota with 12 second chance points compared to just 3 by the Rebels. It's been huge today for them.
Yeah, dribble handoff, one-on-one opportunity right here. Good defense by Minnesota.
One possession game. Smaller defender on Hart inside, and now switched to Walla. Oh, the takeaway by Walla.
Those 2 good girls go battling in there.
What a matchup. Under 2 minutes left. Winner moving on to the Sweet 16 in Sacramento. Chino steps it back. Just misses.
It's double-digit rebounds for Battle. 11 on the game today.
She's making her way towards a potential triple-double if she could get a few more assists, that there's probably not quite enough time left. Dawn using a screen, she went. Fourth three of the game for Mara Braun. Shot clock down to 5. Rebels got to recognize. Down to 2. High screen for Chinyu. Has to sit and watch for about 4 minutes. She's been over there. Hart guarded by Lattimore. Feels out one way. Help D trying to get that across. The lead to Minnesota. Shot clock is off, and Ole Miss wants to talk about it.